and welcome to Power Yoga. My name is Robyn and we'll be having some fun today. So just in light of this week, I don't know if this works for you, but for me it's been like up and down and up and down and up and down. So I'm a big fan of yoga being translated off of the mat. So our ability in our yoga poses to breathe with the ups and ground on the downs is just kind of reflected in today's class. But just like any class, really listen to your body. And if a pose hurts, don't do it. Please feel free at any time to rest, modify your poses, stretch longer if you'd like, and just most importantly today, have fun. All right, we're gonna start on our backs today. Roll all the way down onto your back. And depending on how your back feels, you're welcome to keep your knees bent, or you can straighten out the legs. And if there's any pain in your neck, feel free to grab a blanket or a pillow and just give your head a little bit of a cushion. So starting here, to just notice the breath. Notice how your chest rises on your inhale. And exhale, press out all the air. Inhale, puff up the belly. And exhale, empty your lungs. Start to draw in your core. One more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. From here, start to bend your knees and place your feet on the mat. We're going to set up for rolling bridges. Bring your arms by your side. Pull your shoulder blades underneath you. And with your heels stacked underneath your knees, press the heels down and lift up the hips. Push the knees slightly forward. Lift your chin away from your chest. When your exhale comes, engage your core and roll your back all the way to the floor. On your inhale, lift the hips. Squeeze your glutes at the top. And exhale, roll it down. Inhale, come up to bridge. And this time hold here. Squeeze your glutes and do little tiny pulses, pushing your hips up toward the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now if this is good, hold here. If you're ready for a little bit more, you're gonna bring your left foot to the center of your mat and send your right leg straightish up toward the ceiling. And by straightish, you could have a knee bent or straight leg. Lift your right hip, squeeze your left glute, pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're switching legs. Right foot comes down, left leg goes up, left hip lifts. Squeeze your right glute, pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your foot back to the mat and roll all the way out of bridge pose. Take a gentle side to side motion with the knees, a little windshield wiper. Inhale your knees to your chest. Start to rock forwards and backwards a couple times, a little back massage, and then come up to sitting on your mat. Now your choice, you can have legs out long. If you need an inner thigh stretch, V out the legs, or just come to easy cross-legged. Just relax your neck and roll your head a few times in each direction. As we start to move, just drawing our awareness from the outside world to the inside. Now, bring your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Roll both shoulders back. Take those low ribs, hug them in. Inhale, head to center. Now drop it to the opposite side. Find that space right between your shoulder blades, tug it back. Inhale, lift the head. And do one more seated shoulder stretch. Take right arm out to the side. And dial your thumb down, bend your elbow, and bring your arm behind your back. Now your choice. Your hand can be on your low back. If you need a little bit more, fingers can wrap around the opposite arm. Start to lean just slightly over to the left side of your mat. And then just notice what you notice. Sometimes when we pause and focus on the breath will just kind of tell us where the tension is in the body. Today our goal is just to recognize it and send it breath. Bring head up to center and unpin your arm. We'll do that on the other side. Extension, flip your palm opposite direction, and now arm behind your back. As you do, you're gonna roll the shoulder away from you, and then let your head fall to the opposite side. And then anytime we're stretching, just be aware of the sensations. If you ever have tingles, just back out a little bit. Hold for the inhale. Exhale out, release the stretch, bring head to center. And we're gonna transition to tabletop pose. You can roll over ankles or sweep your feet out to one side, but come to standing on hands and knees. Grounding the tops of your feet, soften the bend in your elbows. Inhale, pull the heart forward, cow pose. And now exhale, curl and round. Stretch into cat. One more, inhale. And exhale. From here, move hands toward the top of your mat. Grounding your palms, tuck your toes. Send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. And take some exploratory movements. Maybe stretching your calves, rock hips side to side. Just check in, see what body came with you today. On your next breath, start to walk toward the top of your mat. Now your hands can come off the ground at any time. As you arrive in your forward fold, if you need to protect your back, skip your forward folds. You want to maintain neutral spine, especially if you've got anything going on like slip disc or you need to protect your low back. If it's okay to fold, then you come into ragdoll. Finding some length, maybe bending one knee and then the other. If you're in ragdoll, release your hands. Bend your knees, squeeze your core and your glutes and press all the way up to standing. And shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. And exhale it down. One more time, inhale. Hugging any of the stress from your week up. And exhale, just let it go. All right, starting to move. Set up your feet for mountain pose. So your choice, maybe big toes touch. Maybe you have feet hip width apart. If your balance is still in bed, not to worry. Take your feet a little bit further apart. Hold on to a chair. All right, inhale, reach the arms up wide and high. Drop the tailbone, press your heels down. Exhale, bend the elbows to an open heart stretch. Push the collarbones up toward the ceiling. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. And on your exhale, sit back, chair pose, airplane arms. All right, I know how much you guys love chair. So I have lots of chair today. But if by chance your chair looks like straight legs, I'll never know. Don't worry about it. But if you're in chair with bent knees, just glance down. Knees haven't passed your toes. In fact, you could lift all 10 toes off the mat so you can ground the balls of your feet. Now, relax your toes back down. If this is good, hold here. If you're ready to start creating some heat in the body, inhale the arms forward, your chair pose arms, and pull the heels off of your mat. Now right here, you've got an imaginary string from your sit bone to the back of your knee. Give that a squeeze. Exhale, heels down. Airplane arms again. Start squeezing your triceps. One more. Inhale, reach up. Maybe the heels lift. Exhale, airplane arms. Push the heels down. Now mountain pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're moving to a low lunge. You can have your hands on your left knee or the ground. Step your right leg back. And then check in. You want hip width distance between your feet. Later on, we're going to set up for crescent lunge. Your feet will be in this position. Take your left hip, hug it back. Now on your inhale, you're going to roll your shoulders back and pull your heart forward. If that pulls on your low back, is bring your hands up onto your knee. On your exhale, it's kind of like cat pose. You're going to pull the belly in a lot. If it's okay in your neck, you could look at your back toes. Inhale, find some length. Pull the shoulders back. Left hip slides back. Exhale, tug belly in. Think of it just like a little bit of tricky core work. Okay, one more time. Inhale. And exhale. From here, plant your hands. Step back, plank pose. And then make this your plank. So you could have hands and knees. You could have tabletop. You could be like, okay, she said plank and I see child's pose. It's all good. If you're in your plank pose, push your tailbone towards your heels. Lift your chin away from your throat. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Now dial the eyes of the elbows forward. Bend and lower all the way to the ground. Tops of your feet come to the floor. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. For cobra pose, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale and release. Plant hands under shoulders. Now your choice, come up to plank or tabletop. Then tuck the toes, send the hips back downward facing dog. Take breath in. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Checking in with your alignment here. Hips stack over knees, over ankles. Unless you got really strong hamstrings, and then bend your knees. Create that neutral low back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Sweep the arms wide and high. Exhale to an open heart stretch. Inhale, reach up, mountain. Exhale, sit back, chair pose, airplane arms. Re-squeeze the glutes. And it's always okay to give them a little bit of encouragement. Come on, you can do it. All right, inhale, reach the arms forward, lift up the heels. Exhale, ground your heels, sweep the arms by your side. One more time, inhale, reach forward. And exhale, reach back. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Now we're moving to a low lunge, left leg back. So maybe hands on the right knee, maybe hands on the ground. Just check in, you've got that hip width distance between your feet. If your right hip kind of wings out to one side, squeeze your glute, draw it behind you. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. And then inhale, pull the heart forward. Now exhale, curl it around. The feet press into the floor. Inhale, little hip stretch as you reach the heart forward. And exhale, pull the belly in. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Plant your hands. Right foot steps back, plank pose. All right, now check in and see where you are today. So you can hold plank, you can rest. We're gonna work on triceps just a little bit. Option for knees to come down. Start to bend your elbows. There's a feeling of your heart pulling forward as your shoulder blades squeeze back. Now inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, elbows bend. Smile, it's Saturday morning, straighten the arms. One more time, exhale, bend and hold. And now if your head's starting to drop, look up. Give me a smile, stick out your tongue, it's all cool. Okay, straighten your arms, hips back, downward facing dog. Take deep breath in. Exhale, step, maybe hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel your shoulders, hug them up toward the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. From here, we're going to start setting up our sequence. It has a lot of ups and downs, so just remember, at any time, change it so that the flow fits your body. On your exhale, sit back into chair pose, airplane arms. Here's where we start with our balance. Left leg is your foundation. Inhale, lifting it up to one-legged mountain pose. Now lots of choices. If you need less, you can always bring hands to heart and your toes to the mat. If you'd like more, the hands extend overhead and the leg can kick forward. If your leg kicks forward, just check in with your back. Pull the belly in as you push the heel out. Now, for extra challenge, if you want, interlace your hands and extend your index fingers. If you feel a little pinch in your shoulders or your neck, skip this part. Bend your front knee and bring your knee together with your left. Keep your left hand where it is and sweep your right hand down. So extra quad stretch here. One thing that happens if you're grabbing your foot is that sometimes there's this really big arch to get your foot. And then you want to take out that arch to help lengthen the front of that leg. Later on in class, we're going to work into dancers. So just feel your left hip right here. No, that's your right hip, sorry. And push it forward a little bit. Right, take one more breath in. Well, unless you lose your balance. Now exhale, release your foot. Bring your left or your hand back up and extend your foot back. So you are in low lunge legs with arms overhead. Remember, if you need less, bring your hands to heart. Squeeze your hips. Inhale, come up, caress and lunge. Now the leg that's back, that hip is gonna drop a little bit. Do a side body crunch, bring it up. Slide your shoulders back over your hips. Take an inhale. And now exhale, here's the down part. Bring your hands to the mat. Now depending on what you need, if you just need stretches, hang out here. If you want more of a workout, it's three-legged downward dog. Take the leg that's in front. Inhale, send it up and back. Exhale, squeeze your knee to your chest. Shoulders back. Inhale, send the leg up. And then once to the shoulder, squeeze knee to your shoulder. Opposite shoulder is going to want to roll forward. Tug it back. Inhale, send it high. Exhale is low lunge. Bring your foot to the top of your mat. And if it doesn't land where you want it to, pick it up, move it, scoot it in place. This time it's warrior one. Plant your back heel. Inhale, lift the arms. And then just check in. Back foot is comfortable. You need to be able to seal the back edge of your foot. Exhale, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, or if you need less, you can reach for opposite elbows. Your core is tight, the heart is high. Now exhale, bring your heart forward. And instead of humble warrior, bring your back foot off the ground and you're in toppling tree. Because sometimes life just throws us things that bring us up and down. Your release is a forward fold. Hands toward the mat, bring both feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Full breath in. Feel this lengthening in your core. Exhale and fold. Inhale, mountain pose. And we'll set that up on the other side. On your exhale, sit back, chair pose, airplane arms. Check in. Fingers spread wide. Arms engaged. This time your right leg is your foundation. Squeeze your hip back. Inhale, left leg comes up, one-legged mountain. And then right here, find your pose. Remember, you always have lots of options. And if I don't say the one that you like, feel free, add it in. If you want more, interlace the fingers, extend the index finger, maybe kick the foot forward. Are you breathing? Take a deep breath in. Now on your exhale, bend your knee. And you're going to bring left knee in line with the right. Now you can work on the balance here for that extra quad stretch. Left hand comes to the foot. If you arch your back to get your foot, focus on pointing the tailbone down and finding length in the front of the leg. And then once more, just check in with your hips. If that left hip is starting to move behind you, push it forward. All right, moving into our low lunge legs. Release your left hand. Find your grip. Left leg extends back. If your front knee is past your toes, make that little adjustment. Find this scissor action in the legs where your front leg pulls back and your back leg pulls forward. Take one more breath here. Relax your toes. Soften your back knee and come up, caress and lunge. Any little adjustments that you need so that hips are neutral. Take a breath in. Exhale and release. Bring your hands down. Now, low lunge here. You can stretch and hold, or for the work, front leg goes up and back. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze your knee in towards your chest. Inhale, send the leg back up. And exhale, knee to shoulder. Just check in, the opposite shoulder is going to want to push forward. Just tug it back. Inhale, one more time, send it high up and back. Exhale, low lunge. So if you're in your stretch, we're now all in the same place. Ground your back heel. Squeeze your core and come up, warrior one. When the arms come up, relax your shoulders. Pull the belly in. Take your hands behind your back. On this side, opposite grip, roll the shoulders back. Now sometimes the same thing happens here. If you can imagine your ribs as a flashlight, and if the ribs poke forward, your flashlight's shining forward. If you can pull the ribs in so your flashlight shines more to the ground, you got nice strong core protects your back. On your exhale, start to bring your heart forward. For your toppling tree, traditionally chest sandwiches to your thigh, but doesn't have to. Shift your weight into your front leg, lift your back leg. You can keep a little bend in the front knee. You want to challenge your balance, look at your back foot. At any time, fingers can come to the ground. Exhale, forward fold. Both feet to the mat, release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Right here, take an open heart stretch. Inhale, reach up, mountain. On your exhale, swan dive forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank toes. All right, remember your plank. If this is good, hold. If you want a little bit more, lift up your right leg. Exhale, squeeze your right knee to your elbow. Send it back. And toes to the mat. Just one on each side. Lift up the opposite leg. Belly in. Bring your knee to your elbow. Leg goes back. Hips high. Downward facing dog. Take deep breath in. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. All right, moving back into our flow. Exhale, sit back, chair pose, airplane arms. Left leg is your foundation. Inhale, right leg comes up. Find your one-legged mountain pose. Option for that interlaced grip. Exhale to the stretch. Now, also, you can just bend the knee and work on the balance. So good for ankles. Release your foot. Hands come back together. Send your toes to the back of the mat. Low lunge legs, these rocket ship arms. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, release hands to the mat. Now, either hold here and stretch, or front leg goes up and back. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, send the leg up. Exhale, knee to shoulder. If you've got a little extra coffee in you this morning, one spider push up. Inhale, send the leg up. Exhale, low lunge. Foot comes back to the top. Ground your back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Check in with those ribs. Come forward, toppling tree. Remember that name, toppling tree? Because if you come right out, you're doing it exactly right. All right, forward fold. Feet at the top of your mat, release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, mountain pose. All right, we'll keep moving to the other side. Exhale, sit back, chair pose, airplane arms. Yeah, I know you love chair. You really do. When you're all done with it, you're like, oh, it was so good for me. All right, right leg is your foundation. Inhale, left leg comes up. Find your one-legged mountain. Exhale, bend your knee. Left hand can sweep around for the stretch, setting up neutral hips. Release your foot. Arm comes back up. Toes reach for the back of the mat. Take this right hip, squeeze it back. Come up, crescent lunge. Exhale and release the hands. Okay, here's your stretch, or front leg goes up and back, three-legged downward dog. Exhale, knee comes forward. Inhale, send it up. Exhale, knee to shoulder. Optional one spider push-up. Inhale, send the leg up. Exhale, low lunge. Comes back to the top. Ground your back heel. Inhale, warrior one here. Remember, life's up, life's down. Exhale, hands behind your back. And the whole time, your breath is always with you. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, toppling tree. Back leg comes up. Release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. All right, check in, see what you need here. You can rest, you can hold plank. We'll do just a little bit of side plank. So start with left hand and left foot as your foundation. So your left hand moves a little bit more to the center of your mat. As you roll to the left, flex your feet, and then send your right hand high. Now check in. You're not sagging into your shoulder. You're really lifting out of the shoulder. Stack shoulder over elbow over wrist. If you want a little bit more, pick up your top leg. Take a breath in. Remember, wobbling is cool. Float back, plank pose. And stacking your wrist underneath your shoulder, roll to the opposite side. This top hand can reach up. Can always rest on your hip. And if you want more, lift up your top leg. Exhale. Release to plank. And press the hips back downward facing dog. Take deep breath in. Exhale, step or hop to the top. Feel free to wipe sweat or grab a drink anytime you need. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. All right, we're gonna do our flow one more time. You're gonna add a couple poses, add our dancers, warrior three. Just remember, do whatever works for your body. All right, take another deep breath in. Exhale, sit back chair pose, airplane arms. Left leg is your foundation. Inhale, one-legged mountain pose. Find your one-legged mountain. And then bend your knee. Option for your dancer's pose here. Bringing your grip to the inside. Knees to touch. Drop the tailbone, lift the heart. And this is a great stretch. You can stay here. Or as you start to kick your foot back, allow your right shoulder to move back, but your hip to move forward. All right, now tighten your core. Release your leg. Extend your heel back. Bring the hands forward. Warrior three. You're so strong. No matter what life gives you, the ups and the downs, take deep breath in. Soften your front knee. Back toes to the back of your mat. Inhale. And come up, crescent lunge. All right, we're going to change it right here. Move to warrior two. Plant your back heel. And now, first time in warrior two. If you need to, straighten the front leg. Wiggle the hips. So when you move back into the pose, you have your knee over your ankle, inner thighs engaged. And then sometimes in reverse or warrior two, those ribs shine out. See if you can just once again shine your flashlight toward the ground. Feel your strength in your upper back. And then relax your neck. Right, turn your front palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Now whatever you like on this backhand, you can rest your shoulder. You can work your shoulder. You can do a bicep curl. Make those muscles pop, because I know they're in there. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, windmill your hands to the ground. All right, we're in a low lunge. Your choice, either hold and stretch, or inhale, send the leg up. Exhale, squeeze knee to chest. And maybe you come up just onto that big toe on your back foot. Inhale, send it up. Exhale, knee to shoulder. Maybe bend your elbows. Maybe you lift that back leg up. If it feels like it's glued to the ground, that's pretty normal. Inhale, send the leg up. Exhale, low lunge. Here we need in our low lunge. Ground your back heel. Inhale, come up. Warrior one. Exhale, hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, toppling tree. Keep a little bend in that front leg. Exhale, and release, right foot beside the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. All right, one more side. You got this. Exhale, sit back, chair pose, airplane arms. All right, and I know you love chair, even though what you said inside your head might be different, you can do it. Inhale, left leg comes up, one-legged mountain. On the exhale, bend your knee. Either hold your stretch with your left hand or bring your grip to the inside. Knees come back together, heart lifts, left hip comes forward. Either hold here or begin to kick your foot into your hand. As your left shoulder moves back, your left hip moves forward. If you keep a little tiny bend in that right knee, that helps. Now right here, tighten your core. Release your foot. Bring left hand forward. Maybe you have that interlaced grip. Dial the toes down. So left hip rotates down just about an inch. Take breath in. Exhale, toes to the back of your mat. Inhale, come up, crescent lunge. And now here's our change. Open up, warrior two. And just check in. If your front knee is kind of lunging forward, walk your front toes forward. Safest place for your knee is your knee over your ankle. And if you need to ungrip the mat, that's cool. Turn your front palm up. Reach up, reverse warrior. Check in with reverse warrior that your tailbone hasn't started to shift to the long edge of your mat. You still have shoulders stacked over hips. What's happening in your backhand? Stay present. The air through your fingers, the breath as it moves through your nose. Take one more inhale. And now exhale, windmill the hands down. All right, low lunge is where we're at. Either hold here and stretch, or inhale, send the front leg up and back. Exhale, squeeze the knee in. Inhale, send the leg up. Exhale, knee to shoulder. Maybe bend the elbows. Maybe your body rests on your elbows and your back leg comes up. That's just a fun party trick. All right, toes come down. Inhale, send the leg high. And exhale, low lunge. You're almost there. Bring your back heel to the mat. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands behind your back. Put the funny feeling pinky on the outside. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, heart forward, lift your back leg, toppling tree. Exhale, and release to a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, open heart stretch. Inhale, reach up, mountain. All right, slowing it down, stretching it out. Exhale, swan dive forward. Right leg steps back, low lunge. So we've been here a few times. If this is good, hang out here. If you need less, you just back out. Stand on the left knee, bring hands onto the, you're standing on the back knee, hands on the front. If your legs are warm and you need a deeper stretch, it's kind of like dancers. You're going to bend the back knee and reach around for your foot. And then notice where you just start to sink into the body and find your strength and your breath. Lift out of the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. If you're holding onto your foot, release your foot. Come back until you're standing on the back knee and straighten the front leg. We'll get in a hamstring stretch. Pull your toes so they point up toward the ceiling. You're going to hinge at your hip crease. And your hands can come to your thigh, your shin. One thing you want to avoid is this over rounding. So shoulders back. And if you need to, bring the ground up to you. Hold for breath in. On your exhale, you'll release and bend the front knee. Come back. Now you're standing on the back knee. All right, here's a glute stretch. The leg that's in front, you're going to cross it over the leg that's in back. So it's just like we were standing and we just crossed one foot in front of the other, except this is our knees. And take your feet and widen them slightly. And then hands can come toward the ground like you're in tabletop. Now this might be a good stretch. You can hold right here. If you want more, you can start to sit back and then just listen to the knees. If they're like, yeah, I don't think this works for me, please skip it. Just a breath, I'll show you an option. The full stretch would be cow face pose. As you sit all the way back, maybe the knees stack, they don't have to. They can uncross a little bit. And if your knees need an option, it's gonna be figure four. Cross one ankle over the other knee. And then check back in with your breath. A lot of times as we move through the ups and downs of our day, by the end of the day, we're like, what just happened? So, right here is our practice time. Relax your shoulders. Feel the inhale. Exhale out all of your air. We're gonna hold here for one more breath in. And out. From here, we're gonna move to downward facing dog. So your choice, you can roll over the knees or uncross the knees and sweep them all the way around. Uncrossing them, tuck your toes under, and send your hips up and back. Pedal the feet a few times, level the low back. Take breath in. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. And we'll stretch out the other side. Exhale, forward fold. This time, left leg steps back. And then once again, what do you need here? The position, if you need less, is backing out. If you need more, just give room for your shoulders. So you'll take your front foot, slide it over slightly. And if you like that extra quad stretch, you'll bend the back knee. Right hand can sweep around for the foot. And then you're not sagging into any of the joints, but belly is in tight. Right hip pulls back. One more breath here. On the exhale, release your foot. You're going to bring your right foot in so it's in front of your hip, straighten the leg. And remember, your leg can be straight-ish. A little micro bend can help protect the back knee. As you shift your right hip back, hinge forward. There's a little bit of energetics of your heel pushing down as you pull the sit bone back. I can give you a nice stretch without ever having to fold at all. Take another breath in here. And then exhale, release. Bend your knee. So we're moving back to our cow face stretch. So the leg that's in front, just gonna tuck it on the opposite side. Widen the ankles, and then bring your hands down like tabletop. This could be a great place to stay. Or, as you start to slide back, maybe you sit on a pillow. Maybe a couple yoga blocks, maybe a couple books even. If you come all the way to the ground, adjust so that you have both sit bones square on the floor. And remember, if your knees aren't happy here, it's important to keep your knees happy. You're gonna do figure 4. And then once you've created the stretch your body needs, let's go back to the breath. The mind is gonna start to wander as the body slows down. So we just practice. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. This time we're going to stay on the ground. Bring your hands behind you. Roll to the back of the sit bones. Uncross the legs. You're going to bring your feet to the mat and your hands as well. Your fingers can point to the outside edge of your mat or to your glutes. Roll your heart high. And if that's a good chest stretch, hold here. If you need a little bit more, it's reverse tabletop. You'll lift the hips. On your exhale, release sit bones back to the ground. Bring your arms by your side and roll all the way down. We're going to bring our class full circle to our bridge pose one more time. So, heels underneath the knees. Walk your shoulder blades underneath you. Press the heels down, lift the hips. Option to bring the hands underneath you and interlace the fingers. You'll roll the shoulders underneath you. Keep your chin away from your throat. And then take one more breath. Exhale, release. Slide the fingers apart. Roll your back onto the ground. And come into reclining cobbler's pose, where the bottoms of the feet touch and the knees start to open. You can either tee out the arms, or if you like the physical connection, put one hand on your heart and one hand on the belly. Listen for the sound of the breath. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. Bring your hands down to the legs. Coming out of your cobbler's pose, knees come toward the ceiling, and then draw them in towards your chest. A little rock side to side. And then start to rock forwards and backwards. Come all the way up to sitting. And we'll end class with just a few breaths together. Bring your arms by your side. On the inhale, sweep the arms up. Breathing in, palms touch. Exhale, press out all of the air. We'll do one more. Inhale, sweep all the air in. Palms touch. Exhale, thumbs to heart. Send a thought of gratitude into the body, then out into the world around us. Thank you so much for doing yoga with me this morning. From the light in me to the light in each of you. Namaste.